We are here at Miniature World.
One city the railroad had no intention of bypassing. The Maritime Provinces, Canada's oldest and most remote settlements. Here, the railway also played a vital role, giving the Maritimes a huge market for their fish catches. Here we see a typical rural maritime fishing village, a place that had remained the same for over 50 years. Now the railway steams through its peace and tranquility, bringing a vital
Oh,
communication.
magdidilim na.
But as some old maritimer Riley remarked, at what cost? Today, the big railway is still that, the big railway. Here it carries over 4 million passengers over its 23,000 miles of track and moves 100 billion gross ton miles of freight each year. This diorama is a tribute to that railway that has done so much for our country.
I'll be back here one time.
In Eastern Canada, in the late 1880s, a single topic of conversation prevailed in drawing rooms, taverns, street corners, and the stock exchange. Hey, have you heard anything about the big railway? Was a frequently asked question. Or, how far is the big railway these days? The big railway was, of course, the new Canadian Pacific Railway, which had begun to inch across
Continuation
America
of
since the
BC.
spring of 1882.
Winnipeg, 1885.
In Canada in the 1880s, this was more than just a railway. This was the greatest engineering feat the young country had ever undertaken. It was also a political move to stop encroachment by American settlers and politicians into the scantily populated prairie provinces. And lastly, it was the last step in a true confederation of Canada from coast to coast. It was simple. No railroad, no Canada. So the Canadian Pacific Railway, lumbering into the towering barrier of British Columbia in late 1883, carried with it the dreams, hopes, and aspirations of a young country. It was also designed to bring immigrants by the tens of thousands
Oh,
to
where is
fill out
this?
the poorly
Toronto
populated
in
prairies and stop the
1915.
threat of American takeover.
This was
What they didn't
Toronto.
realize at the time was that by populating the prairies and providing transportation
1915.
to eastern and western seaports, they were creating the future breadbasket of the world.
Ganda. So
Let's
during the
take a trip back into
1915, no,
history
ang
now
gaganda
as
na
we
ng
look at the
bahay,
big
right?
railway. In this working diorama, here's history in 3 dimensions and accurately scaled. Here are the imagination-defying engineering feats.
This is Miniature World here in
Again,
Victoria.
the sweat and toil that went into completing one of the world's mightiest railways over a country that size is beyond
Quebec City, 1950.
over deserts that dry a man's brain, and towering passes where winds howl at releases miles an hour, and temperatures blunt to destroy Muscat, that could swallow a
Thanks
shrinking
for
airplane,
watching, everyone.
and rotting chasms of mud deep.
Yeah. It's really worth it to come here.
The mighty Canadian Pacific.
Entrance fee is $20. Oh, sorry. Because I'm crazy, I didn't bring my... Where is this? The Maritimes. Oh, Skytrain, the train, no? Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Prince Edward Island. Here we are. Galing na kami dito.
Without them and their strength and courage, the invasion of England would have occurred in
kita yung pantalon ko.
The pilots, their planes, and
Where is this Glory
over
Road?
those 2 months in 1940 have become legendary, and Britain will forever be indebted to those gallant few.
The gratitude of every home in our islands, in our empire, and indeed throughout the world, goes out to the British Airmen who, undaunted by arms, unwearied in their constant challenge and mortal danger, are turning the tide of the world war by their prowess and by their devotion. Never
German
has
soldiers.
conflict was so much owed by so many.
Grabe, no? It's like it's so hard to live during that time, right? Look at this.
People of Western Europe. The landing was made this morning on the coast of France by troops of the Allied Expeditionary Force. This landing is part of the concerted United Nations plan
Where is
for
this?
liberation of Europe.
Land.
D-Day +1. Allied troops pushed southward from the beaches at Normandy.
This is
Over
France.
4,000 Canadian soldiers. Earlier, German generals Rommel and von
They
Rundstedt
have lots of
disagreed
castles,
over
you see.
defensive action on the coast. Rommel wanted to repel the invasion at the beachhead, but von Rundstedt favored a defense that grew in intensity as the invasion forces moved inland. A compromise was made, and German heavy armor was left well to the south, a plan that allowed rapid, if short-lived advancement by the Allies. In addition, several Nazi tank divisions could only move in with direct word from the Fuhrer. It was not until the morning of the 7th that Panzer leaders received their orders. The brunt of the attack was felt by the 9th
Ang gagaling nila. No? Nagbabike pa siya. Oh.
On either side of the important German communications center in Caen, the 21st Panzer Division Infantry had been strengthened by the 12th SS Panzer Division. Fighting was fierce.
Okay.
The North Nova Scotia Highlanders counted 245 in one day's action. For almost a month,
They're so artistic, eh?
the site was lost.
Bank of British North America. Where is this? This one here in BC2. Wow. This is the house. I love this. Where is this? The golden years. It's a mixed thing. Golden years. I love the golden years. See? Oh, Santa Claus.
In the center of the room, we have a larger diorama depicting Jonathan Swift's Northern Gulliver's Gulliver, the unfortunate sailor who was shipwrecked and washed ashore, only to wake up and find himself tied with 1,000 tiny ropes in the land of Lilliput, surrounded by the Lilliputians.
Shell.
Oh,
Castle.
was the original miniature world. In this scene, Gulliver may not look too big to us,
What's
but
this?
to the tiny Lilliputians,
Oh.
he's huge. Look at the size of their beautiful little
The
houses.
Gullier
To him,
in
and look
Lilliput.
how cleverly they tied even his hair to the ground. Now we come to the huge diorama of Titania's palace,
Look at that.
actually measuring 8 feet by 10 feet and towering 6 feet high. Ultimate craftsmanship in miniature creations. The entire scene was inspired by Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream, and we suggest you spend a while looking over this magnificent diorama. Notice the detailing of the brickwork on the towers.
Okay.